All right, let me get myself together here because we are so ready. There we go. There we go. There we go. I was just having a chat with the husband because he was wondering if there was a if there was a book in his Amazon order. And I was like, yeah, there's a book in there. Actually, I lied to him. I didn't tell him that there was a book there. I denied it because that's the way to go. That's the only way to go. All right, let's see here. Let's see if we can get our guest because so last year I was doing some Instagram lives and bringing on other small business owners and what have you to just have a conversation. And so, let's see here. And so I said, you know what? Let's do that again. Let's do it again. Here we go. Yes, yes. So I said, you know, let's share the stage with other small business owners and just talk about some of our journeys and challenges and all that good stuff. So today I am bringing on Lynn Decker. Hello there. How are you?
Good, Gwendolyn. How are you today? So glad to be here.
Pretty good. Now, I actually wore this shirt for you. I want you to know that, right? Because I know you're also a runner. I don't know how you feel about chocolate. I don't know how you feel about wine, but I do know that you run. So runners have to like stick together. You know what I mean?
Yes, I run. I love red wine, and dark chocolate is my thing. So we're all on the same page.
There you go. Yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I think about one of the best races I had was with the hot chocolate run, and there was a segment of the neighborhood that was passing out shots of a little something extra. And it was the best thing. I mean, you know, it's cold, a little alcohol goes a long way. It's not going to kill your run, but a little alcohol goes a long way. So I thought, let me put on something for Lynn today. Let me put on something for Lynn.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So let's get started. I want to give you the chance, first of all, to introduce yourself, and then we'll get right into your story. So who are you?
Okay. My name is Lynn Decker, and I'm the owner of Wired for Love Designs. It's a jewelry company. I design and make my own jewelry. It started off as a hobby and then kind of snowballed. People were liking what I was making, which was amazing. And I just said, you know what? I like this. I want to do more of this. So yeah, that's what I do.
So let's get a little bit deeper because there's a story behind how you got into this jewelry making business. What is that story?
Okay. So, you know, we're runners and we all know what happened during the pandemic. Our races were all canceled. Yeah. Our social lives went right down the tubes. You know, I was looking for things to do, and there's a band that I follow on Instagram that I had seen at the 2019 Mermaid Parade here at Coney Island in New York. Shout out to New York. And the name of the band is Fogo, Azul, and it's a female Brazilian drum line. So when they come down the street, you know when they're coming, and it stops you dead in your tracks, and you're like, okay, I need to know what that is. Long story short, I saw on Instagram that they had started some outdoor rehearsals, and their thing is that you don't need any drumming experience to join the band. So I filled out the application online to join, just thinking nobody's going to answer little old me during a pandemic, and then they did. They answered my email, show up on such and such a date, come check us out, come watch, and it started from there. So I joined this drum line, which I absolutely love. It was something social to do, but I was looking for some earrings to wear with our uniforms, our T-shirts, and I want, we go overboard with our costuming, and our colors are for the Brazilian flag and blue and yellow and green, and I couldn't find anything out there. So I said, you know what, let me go and see if I can make my own earrings. And I said, let me go onto YouTube. So where else do we learn things? On YouTube. So I went onto YouTube and I discovered a whole world of jewelry making there. So I, went and started to make a pair of earrings for myself for the bands, and then I discovered all kinds of jewelry making and other kinds of earrings. And so it really just started from there as, let me try making some earrings. I like it. Let me make some of these earrings over here and some of those earrings over there. And I started sharing just what I was making on Facebook with my friends and Instagram with my friends. It wasn't a business. It was just, look what little old Lynn is doing over here, And then I just started giving my friends earrings, and they liked them. And I had one friend who was just over the moon with everything and just wanted more. So I kept making it, and she just fueled my confidence, and I said, okay, well, let's make other things. And I discovered, stretch bracelets, beaded bracelets. I work with gemstones because I'm a geology geek. But and it just kind of took off from there. People just liked everything, and that's how it started.
And how long ago was this? Because you're talking the pandemic, so.
Yeah, so I joined the band at the very end of August 2020. Went to my first rehearsal in September of 2020. And then by November, I was looking to make earrings. So so I bought my first set of jewelry tools in December of 2020. So we're a year and 2 months in, basically. And nice. I've gone a little crazy. So, we got earrings and bracelets and necklaces, and you don't even want to know what my house looks like. Well, I have now a studio here at the house, but I have so much stuff that it's like, okay, now I have to go in business because I have to justify all these purchases of supplies and tools and everything. So that, and then what happened was in June, I signed up for my first fair to sell my jewelry. Didn't know what to expect, but it was very exciting, and I was so nervous, and I followed my friends on Instagram. They encouraged me, other jewelry makers. I had set up, I have 2 Instagram pages, my personal, and then I had to go and set up a one for business because I didn't want to bore my friends with just posting jewelry all the time. So I said, let me have a dedicated page, invite everybody on over. My other page has my running, it has my band, it has my jewelry, and anything else I feel like sharing. But my jewelry page is primarily my jewelry, and I can't help myself. Sometimes I do share some personal tidbits because I like for people to know who I am. I'm not just a person who makes jewelry. I'm a whole person,
There is a person behind the brand, as we often say, so people have to kind of get an idea about who you are. Now, this is a year, and you said 2 months, a year and 2 months?
Yes.
You're kind of in there? All right.
Yes.
So what's your background? You said that you're a geology geek, right? But what's your background? Is it in jewelry design?
No, not at all. Jewelry, I just discovered my knack for it when I fell into it as a hobby for the most part. But I'm a small business consultant. I'm a QuickBooks consultant. I have my own company that I work from home, which works great. During the pandemic, I was already home, so no big changes for me. So I have clients and I work from home, and it's called Progressive Bookkeeping Solutions, and that's my company. So I do have some business experience. I've been doing that. Well, I formed that business back in 2010, so I've been doing that for 12 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. But, once I discovered making jewelry, it's, that other business, it needs to I need to wind that down and wind it up. So that's my plan and that's my goal. So, so now geology, I went back to college as an adult because I didn't have a college degree. So I went back to college as an adult in 2004. And at that time, I had a full-time job. So I was going to school nights and weekends, just taking like 2 classes a semester. And then, I had to take science. And so I took astronomy. I was blown away. And then after that, I said I need to keep going with the sciences. So I went into geology. Geology blew my mind. I love geology. And so, yeah, I'm a rock hound, a geology nerd, and I love rocks. People like, really, rocks? And like, you have no idea the story that's in rocks. And it's not just rocks. They're minerals, and there's gems, and there's a whole thing. It's the story of our being. So
I think my knowledge of jewelry and gemstones was very minute. I had an elective class, and one of the assignments was to go to Tiffany's, right? Because, I was at FIT at the time, and to go look at like diamonds and other gemstones. First of all, no student, college kid walked into Tiffany's, right? And just says, hey, can I look at a pair of diamonds? Like, are you serious? Right. So I was like, really, of all the things you want to give us to look at, but we made it happen. I mean, you're already sort of out of place because you're not going to buy anything. But I do know that there's a lot of stories and if you will, background when it comes to gemstones and things of that nature. So you're a small business person, like you've been in the game for a while. Mm-hmm. So tell me this, in regards to your plan. So you have a small business, right? And the plan is to sort of wind that down and bring this one up. Where is that coming from? Is that just like wanting more of your time to yourself? Is it a shift in where you are with your life and having a fair work-life balance?
It's all about, at this point in my life, doing what brings me joy and makes me happy. And I think we all learned from the pandemic. We had this opportunity to just slow down and just take some stock in life and what we're doing and why we're doing. And it was a good time to just stop and question things. So I had no plans of looking for a different career or doing something new. It just, like I say it all the time, it's serendipity. You never know what comes into your life and where it's going to take you. I'm always that person who's looking for new things to do. I don't believe in being stagnant. I like to learn. And so for me, if I'm not happy in one place, I need to keep it moving. Where we're going to next. So with jewelry, it was very natural. It comes business comes natural for me, but with the jewelry, it brings me so much happiness, and I have so much just wanting to do it all the time that it just keeps me rolling forward. So that being said, in 2021, it was all about, doing fairs. I fell into this, with doing fairs, I fell into a great situation. You've been following me for a while, so you know that I am fortunate to be able to be part of an indoor vendors market here on Staten Island. Three lovely women have a company that was called Three Amigas, and then they incorporated to Low Kelly vendor market. So Low Kelly, I had vended with them outdoors in the fall, late summer, early fall, and they let me know that they were going to be having an indoor marketplace here on Staten Island at the Empire Outlets, which is our first ever outlets here in Staten Island. So they have a store, and they invited me to come, and I've been there ever since. And so I basically now, I have my own jewelry business within this market. They are so supportive and so wonderful. And I'm telling you, when God or the universe puts people in your life, it all falls into place. So that being said, 2021, I was getting my feet wet, doing business in this store. And so then I said, you know what, I need to make this formal so that I treat it like a business, right? In other words, once you decide to go into business, you have to hunker down, because you have to answer to the government. You have to answer to localities. You got to have your licenses. You got to pay taxes, right? So I said, you know what? I'm not against paying taxes. I always tell people, people say, oh, I don't want to pay taxes. Oh, if you make a business, you're going to have to pay sales tax. You know what? That's a good place to be, right? If I'm fortunate enough to make sales and then to give a little piece to the government to keep my local government moving, hey, I'm all for it. Don't complain about needing to pay taxes. If you're making money, you're paying taxes. You're paying taxes, you're making money. So I said I needed to go formal, and that's when in January I went formal. In December I formed my LLC. Okay. And so since I did that with my first business on my own, I took it upon myself to do it again. And so, cuts back on fees when you can figure those things out for yourself. Yes. So I did that. I formed the LLC. I signed up with New York State for sales tax. I got my EIN. I had already had my website, and then I just, switch the names to, I do Businesses Wired for Love Designs because that's how everybody knows me, but I don't want to have to put that on every document. So it's WFLD Jewelry Studio LLC. So, and it felt good to say I had a jewelry studio because it's like, oh wow, that makes me an artist, right? I have a jewelry studio. So you know what? You have to live it to be about it, and be about it to make things happen, and just have the confidence to go and do it,
I do believe the universe will conspire to assist you. And when you put things out in the universe, you find yourself meeting people of like minds who will do whatever they can to boost you up, to help you out, to give you the resources that you need. So these women at this small place that you talked about, where you now have a shop, if you will, if you call it that. Tell me about that community, because I got to think that when we are small business owners, we really do rally around each other, and we try to make sure that everybody is feeling good or has what they need. Tell me about that community.
That community is everything, okay? Because the support you get from, it's mostly women helping women, okay? And we support each other. We're not in competition with each other. If anybody needs anything, we give wholeheartedly. So it's a very supportive community. I find my best clients are the people who are my peers, people who are around me. People want to support people that they like, that they know. They know they have people that they can trust to go to, and I reciprocate that as well, right? We want to support one another. We want to make sure, we can cover our vending fees. We pay our little rental fee, and and you listen, and I pay attention, and if I hear somebody needs something, I might have a few right at that minute, but just know that when I come in the next time, I'm going to have something that you needed. and that's just the way we work. We help each other, So.
Yeah, I believe in that. It's because I found you by following another small business, and it's an interesting community across the board. But I like how you spoke about how there's not any competition, because even if you are a jewelry maker, other jewelry makers, right? And the way that you craft your jewelry and the story behind it is not the same as someone else. Like, I'm in photography and I am surrounded by other photographers, but we all have our own voice and how we create our art. So I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, ask your question.
So I was just thinking in regards to other women business owners, the women that you're surrounded with, do some of them already have a really deep understanding of running the business, or were some of them just getting started? How did you use some of your expertise to help them out?
Sure. So it's a mix. I think there are people who have been doing what they've been doing for a while, and they're formal businesses. And then there are other people who are just starting out. And, I can sometimes offer business advice. And on the flip side, I work with a lot of younger people who offer me their support when it comes to social media and podcasts. And so, it goes back and forth. I can offer my expertise, but boy, am I a sponge for taking in everybody else's expertise. We all have something to offer. And when it comes to being, in a space where there's other jewelers, we all have our own signature style. Mm-hmm. We all have our own voice. We all come from different perspectives. So, even if we're working in like same materials, we all fabricate things differently, mm-hmm. and we all have our own vibe and our own signature style. That's basically all I can say. And we were fortunate to meet. And I have to give a shout out to Caleb, Lake Imposter. Caleb is the best. And, his clothing, his jewelry caught my attention. Mm-hmm. And so let's talk about other jewelers. Yeah. Caleb is a talented jeweler, and mm-hmm. he has his clothing line. And, I saw you on, I don't know if it was on his Instagram or your own Instagram, you did an unboxing of his shirt that blew me away. And I love his jewelry. I've bought pieces from him. Mm-hmm. I've bought shirts from him. I wear his shirts. And mm-hmm. When I saw your unboxing, I'm like, I need to follow her because you have such fantastic energy and you're not shy. You just put it all on the table. For me, doing this is this is my first Instagram Live with somebody. So, I'm just like, I'm here to have a conversation with you, but you really bring it. And so
I will tell you,
that's how we connected.
It is how we connected. And I am biased, but I recognize my biases. I recognize that I am. So if it is a small business, that's a point, right? Like you're already in because, and then if it's owned by a woman, there's more points because, hey, we gotta support each other. And then if it is a Black owned business, there's even more points, right? And then if you're from Houston, there's even more points. Now, New York is my second home, right? It's my second home. I call myself I'm an honorary New Yorker, right? So I've done my time. I've earned my stripes.
For sure.
For sure. I've earned my stripes. So then I have my biases around there. But as a person who really does believe in supporting other small businesses, I know they talk about with social media that, you should find your influencers and have them, promote your business and what have you. And I think that's great. I'm not knocking it. Hey, everybody does their own thing. I'm going to call myself old school. I am still the person who does the word of mouth, right? I'm still the person who, if I go to your business and I had great service, I am going to go to Google. I'm going to leave you an honest review. I will do impromptu unboxing because that's who I am, right? It's mm-hmm. what I believe in. So let's talk about your unboxing, because I'm telling you, when I got that zipper zazzle, and I was like, okay, holy shnikes, that's huge. I didn't know it was going to be that big. And that can come out wrong depending on where you are. But I was like, wow, that's really nice. My mother saw it. She's like, that is nice. I said, no, don't you like it? Because I have it on my handbag, right? On my work handbag when I travel with my laptop and everything. But it is gorgeous. Where did that idea come from for a zipper zazzle? Where did that come from?
Okay, you know what? So zipper zazzles, I was making smaller pieces. And then, I buy, like I said, I buy a lot of jewelry components and supplies, always someday I'm going to use this in something. And I'm on Etsy a lot. And so those wooden pendants, which were all themed that had to do with Black Lives Matter, Black Girl Magic, just different images like that. And I put those to the side, and I had four of those. And I made 4 zipper zazzles with them. And so basically I wanted that to be, those discs to be a focal point of my zipper zazzle. And I had made a zipper zazzle for Fran a little bit longer. Didn't have that pendant on it, but she loved it, and she puts it on her travel bag. She has a nice bag, and she uses it when she travels. So I said, all right, I'm going to do something like that. So it had the big, large beads, and it had the keychain on it, and hers had a big Buddha head on it, and I just went with that. And so I made it like just like a one-time kind of what do you call that? Just a set that I put together, and and I just put it out there, and you saw it, and you bought one, and I had people in my life buy it, and they loved it, and it just took off from there. So when you bought it, I was thrilled, because you purchased something for me. I wasn't expecting you to buy anything from me. And then when you posted your unboxing, oh my goodness, I almost died. If I tell you that you were so genuinely excited that I couldn't believe it. I was floored. I was like, you made me so happy. And I was just so glad that you appreciate it, because like part of what I do is I love diversity, and I love inclusivity, and I put things out there that people don't expect to see from somebody who looks like me as a white person. So like I don't mind putting out things that say Black Girl Magic, or Black Lives Matter, and I'm not doing it. I'm not coming from a place of appropriation, but I'm coming from a place of somebody like me, somebody who looks like me, needs to be out here, like supporting, repping, shouting, this is, everybody matters, Black Lives. I always want to have something to offer to everybody. I want people, when they come to my shop, to see themselves represented. So I was so happy when you bought that, and so thank you very much. Yours said Black Girl Magic on it.
It
Gold
did.
and purple.
Yeah.
It had the brown and purple tiger's eye on there, and I didn't know that those were your colors, but now I know.
It was spot on. I was like, okay, it's purple, it's got the gold, it's looking good. I'm gonna have to snatch that up, because it just kind of works. It just kind of works. What is interesting though is, when I'm out on Instagram or any kind of fair, any kind of like, just any kind of creation where people can bring their goods and promote themselves, I am always looking to buy something, right? Big or small, doesn't really matter. Could be candles. I'm always down for food. Always down for food. Could be could be jewelry. It could be, I know, right? It could be clothing. But I'm always looking to support another small business in any way, shape, or form. So like, you often see these posts where they say, you don't have to always buy something, but if you reshare a post, reshare a reel, show up like in that space, all those things matter. Like people need to know that they have a cheerleading squad behind them, right? And even if it's just one person, you want that one person. So tell me this, I will tell you that for me, I always relate or tie back any kind of challenges to running, because it just kind of makes sense, right? Like running is one of those things where you got to train. I mean, you don't have to train, but you probably should train, because you're bound to fall a couple of times. You're bound to have a good run. You're going to have some bad runs, but you keep making these, what's the right, personal records. You keep making these stages that you want to reach next. So for you, what are some of the challenges you faced with this business or your first one? And what are some of the advice you want to give to others?
Challenges for me, the main challenge I have is time. Finding enough time to have to sit and actually create. To plan, to, take things to the next level. So I've been slowly doing that by reducing my client base on my other business, so that I could free up some time for this business and try and grow it as much as I can. So if I had to give you 3 tips, it's just, free up your time where you can, let go of the things and I don't want to say people, but the activities that no longer serve you, commitments that I've had you know, being part of a club or things that I'm not participating in anymore or as much. Like, I have to reclaim my time. So I'm letting go of some things to be able to bring in new things. So you need to do that. You need to sit and just really take some time with yourself to assess, you know, is this bringing me joy? If not, what do I need to do to change it? So I'm letting go of some business commitments, some other personal commitments so that I can have the time that I need to make jewelry and to focus on my business. The other thing I would recommend is to keep learning. You have to keep learning and growing. You need to keep your skills up. You need to learn new skills. You don't want people to get bored with what you're putting out. You want to be able to bring new things to the table. Education, education, education. So like I signed up for an 8-week jewelry business course that I'm doing online through, it's called the Jewelers Academy, and it's by a woman who ran a school in London, the Jewelry School of London. And she now had to pivot also during the pandemic and took her jewelry school online. And so I love it because I don't know, there's something about Londoners, England, they're just, I don't know, they're just a little bit more calm and focused. Like it's just so, it just seems so proper in a good way, you know. So anyway, I signed up for that. I'm doing that for the next 8 weeks, and so I need time to do that, right? And so I need to focus on being able to, you know, do my projects with them. And I think one of the other things I would recommend is to network. Put yourself out there with people in your own business and not even in your own business. So like if you're at a fair, you could be at a fair next to somebody who, you know, makes donuts, or you could be at a fair with somebody who, you know, builds things with wood. Just network and be with people, talk to people, collaborate with people. Just don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You really do need to show up. And and when you're out there networking, like my thing is just be an authentic, genuine, good person. That's the other thing. Nobody likes to be sold to. So just like tell people about your business, but don't tell people about your business with the intent to sell to them. You know, if people like what you do, they'll buy from you. Don't always show up or come forward first with what it is you're selling. You can tell people about what you do and what you make, but, you know, just be a good person, be an authentic person, and people will want to, you know, support you and shop with you, you know, and just continue to put out good work and be conscientious of what you're putting out into the marketplace. Make sure it's good quality, where it comes from. You want people's, you know, jewelry to last. And you want them to be able to wear it for a long time. And always stand behind your product. So I will always, you know, repair. You know, I can't always replace, but maybe, you know, if it's within a certain window of time, you know, you say, hey, you have 30 days. If anything happens, it breaks, I'll replace it for you. I've done that with people. So, you know, my jewelry broke, and, you know, you help out where you can. So if you come from a good place, you will be successful. So just be a good person, keep learning, network.
And I will. Yes, you know, when you mention education and continuing to grow and then being authentic. Now, I know I'm going to say 2020, when everybody was, you know, we were all going through the change. Let's go ahead and put it out there, right? But it felt as if being authentic became like a buzzword. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was like, yeah, be your authentic self. And da-da-da-da-da-da. And then even when they were doing it, some of it just felt like it just wasn't really real. Like it was fraud, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Right. I've heard people say that you should date your clients, right? At the end of the day, you should get to know people for genuine reasons, you know? Now, I'm on LinkedIn, and I love connecting with other people. I don't care. I'll connect, right? What doesn't work, though, is when we get connected and the very first message is, hey, you want to buy some insurance? Because I know you're a freelancer. It's like, dude, can you say hello first? Can we get to know each other? Like have a cup of coffee or something? I mean, you just jump right on in. It's like, I don't even know you like that. So he's selling something to me, right?
Yep.
This has this really awful feeling. But I love your message of education, because you do have to continue to grow. Like, we are not who we were yesterday, let alone 2 weeks ago, let alone 2 months ago. And if you want to have a thriving business, you're going to have to keep your skills up. You're going to have to figure out, you know, what's the latest trends, because I'm not really big on following trends per se. I'm the odd duck. If someone can be on the sideline, it's going to probably be Gwendolyn, right? We'll be over here watching. But investing in your education and investing time in you, as you say, if it no longer brings you joy, then why are we still going through the motions, right?
Right.
I don't want to say wasting our time, but I'm going to say wasting our time. We're going to go ahead and say it. We're going to say wasting our time. Like, why are we still doing that? Like, why are we still doing that?
Right.
So because you mentioned it in a roundabout way, what does success look like to you?
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't just start with dollar signs. For me, success is being able to, even if I'm just making a living doing what I love, I don't have visions of grandeur, becoming a millionaire. No. But if I can make a living doing what I love and sharing what I make and seeing that it brings people joy, that's what makes me happy. That's success to me. When people want to, wear my jewelry, purchase my jewelry, that's success to me on a very, very basic level. That's success to me. And if I make money doing it, that's great too. If I make money doing it, I mean, it's a business, right? There has to be profit built into it. But again, that's not what I lead with. I can make a lot of money doing my other business, right? The markups on that are way higher than the markup on a piece of jewelry. But it does not bring me joy. It's drudgery to sit behind a computer. And I have found being able to use my hand and create something is priceless. I didn't know that I could make jewelry, let alone people would like jewelry that I made. And so it just opened up a whole new world, and it just made me think of myself in a different way, and that I don't have to just be sitting at a computer all the time, just pushing paper. I've worked for a long time doing what I do, and for myself and for other people. And I've put in those 16-hour days for the corporations. I have no patience for that anymore. So success for me means to be able to continue to work for myself, doing what I love, and being able to make a living and pay my bills. And if there's anything on top of that, then that's all gravy, Yeah. That's all gravy.
It's so funny how when you when you were speaking about like why you have your business, it is easy to feel the pride you have in what you do, and truly the authentic joy in having people live with your jewelry, and how it like brings joy to their lives as well. Like that's very clear that is like why you do what you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I don't believe I know people, like, yes, it is a business. You do have to make money. Okay, that's what it is. I mean, the IRS says after a while, if it doesn't, it's just a hobby. So you do have to make you do have to show up. You do have to show up. You only have so many years to do $0, but okay, whatever.
That's right.
But there has to be a reason why you get out of the bed every day to do what you do, and that's not attached to money. That's not even, it's not the same thing. And everybody's idea of success is not the same either. Like I'm in the same boat as you. When I was a kid, I remember looking at the newspaper. Yes, the newspaper. And they had the floor plans of homes, right? And I would dream of having this 2-story house with this winding staircase, and it would do this and that and that. And I was like, oh my God. And then you get older and realize that bill to light and like heat the house and cool the house is crazy. But more than that, you really find out who you are and what gets you out of the bed in the morning. So providing joy to my customers through photography is why I do what I do, right? Mm-hmm. And making those small milestones in my company is where I find my success. It's not necessarily 6 digits or what have you. Like it's not attached to a monetary thing. If it's there, okay, great. Like you said, it's like it's gravy, but that's not why I do what I do. Like that's not the point. That's just
not the motivation.
It's not the motivation. Like when people see their images and there are tears in their eye or these really big smiles, like their cheeks start to hurt, it hits you differently. It definitely hits you differently. And as a creative, you do feel a certain kind of like attachment. Now I don't have any kids. I'm an auntie with no kids, so we're kind of off the cuff. But when I'm working with these families and I see that this creation brings them joy, it's like giving away like one of your babies are going out to go live and do their thing. So it does feel pretty great. So I want to get one more thing on there. Let's talk about your creative process, right?
Okay.
What inspires you?
Okay. So, there are times when I just never know what inspires me, but I did discover an artist that I just saw her work and fell in love with it. She's a South African artist. Her name is Leela Rose Fanner. I don't know if you've ever heard of her, but I saw her work in a magazine when I was at an event where I was making a vision board. I signed up to make a vision board, right? And so here, I saved a piece of her work, and her name is, I wrote it down, Leela Rose Fanner. Okay. And she's in South Africa, and her use of colors, and just her aesthetic, I fell in love with it. So I have, you see this is a snipping from the magazine. Yeah, they're all taped up in front of me where you can't see on my workspace. Okay, so I see her images, I see her colors, and so what's inspiring me right now is her colors and the way she uses them and puts them together. And what I like about it is it's forcing me to put colors together that I never would have thought that belonged together, right? I think because of the type of person I am, I come from bookkeeping. Bookkeeping means order. Order means symmetrical, and everything has got to be A, B, A, B, A, B, and the colors have to be, we put brown and beige together, we put black and white together, but would we put like purple and light blue together? So like I'm looking at her colors and I'm seeing how they make me feel, and I'm like, oh, well then I need to figure out how to get that feeling into my jewelry and to push myself out of that very comfortable place of symmetry and just say like, we can put different colors together. So that's where I am right now, loving Leela Rose Fanner's artwork. I recommend you go check her out. Really nice stuff, and she's in our age range, so I am totally like feeling everything about her, and so so that's where my creativity is coming from right now. And there are times where I have no creativity, and then I'll just leave stuff alone. You have to sometimes just walk away, and I'll go for a week or two and not make anything and just focus on what I already have out there. And then I'll wake up one morning, and usually on a beautiful sunny morning, I love the sun coming in my window and on my desk where my beads are, my bead board, and I'll just sit there, and sometimes things will just come from there. Sometimes I just have a dream about something, and then I say, let me go and see if this makes any kind of sense, and put something together. And I'm always, you watch other people, and I watch people doing different types of techniques, and I want to learn techniques, and that's where that's where it comes to, making time for yourself. Like, when am I going to make time to learn a new technique or work with a new material, right? So
That is awesome. I know I go through the same thing, because you can look at, like, everybody has other artists living or deceased, that inspire them, right? That kind of keeps the juices flowing. And then there are times where you're thinking, I just hit a wall and I don't even know what I want to create or how I want to do this. So I do a lot of personal projects. Are you doing anything for yourself to kind of keep your creative juices flowing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So let me just show you one thing. So I love working with wire. And so when working with wire, it's like wire wrapping beads, right?
That. Yeah.
So the art or the thought of me sitting down with my pliers and wire and just wrapping beads, making bead links. I could sit here and do this all day. So sometimes I will just, when I just want to zone out, sit with my pliers and my beads and put them simple wire loops and just make them. So I do that. And so like I have a whole thing here hanging. I have a line that runs across my curtain and I just keep linking my beads together. And so when you talk about inspiration, this is about, I don't know, 5 feet long right now. And I just link them together. This is inspiration because I'm just linking a bunch of beads together and I might look at it and say, oh, maybe I could put this together. Maybe these two things go together. So it's therapy, it's inspiration. But my first love is working with wire and my pliers. And I get a lot of satisfaction working with that. So yeah, it's meditative. It's meditative, and I think that's why I love making jewelry so much. Is it takes me out of my head. I'm kind of a high-strung Type A personality, and so when I'm making jewelry, I kind of get into a zone. Like I'm so high-strung that I find it hard to like. You tell me you sit and meditate. I find it so hard to meditate. Like actually sit down, close my eyes, and zone out. But when I sit down with my beads and my pliers, and I get into a zone right with that. So yeah,
we all have our something. Yes, the need to meditate is just finding like a place to be calm. But other things bring me calm. Now I used to knit. Like I haven't knitted anything in like a long time. So I'm kind of. And then I also realized that it gets actually very expensive. I was like, wow, this scarf is like $90. But it's a beautiful scarf, though. That scarf is like, it's hand-dyed wool yarn. It's like a beautiful, but it's also $90. So then you get people like, well, make me one. It's like, you're going to get acrylic from like Michael's because this gets expensive, right?
Unless you want to pay for it, of course.
Unless you want to pay for it because yarn is expensive. But I do understand the idea of finding something to sort of like find that place of calm and just sort of bring all the nerves into down. Running does that for me though. So if I'm not meditating, then we run when the weather's good. The weather's good today. But I'm like Forrest Gump. I can get out there and run for hours. It's like let me just go.
Running does the same for me as well. If I'm having high anxiety, I have to go out and run. That will take it down. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I will say, during the pandemic, running kept me from, I think falling over, like literally going over the edge. There was those moments where you just want to like cry and scream and getting out there and run, putting on a really good like playlist. It was one of those things of feeling brand new. Now people are like, really? Running? Seriously? Yes, I get it. Now I will say marathons are highly overrated. I've done my fair share. They're highly overrated. I don't understand why anybody would ever do it. Although I've done a couple, and that first mile, you're like, and I paid for this? I paid for this. Really?
Every race I say, I paid for this. That's right.
Like, I paid for this? It's early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, some really ridiculous time. It is, it's like, why did I do this? But once you get to like mile 3, you're like, oh yeah, it's going great. It's going great. It's perfect. It's perfect. So we keep running, and being an old Girl Scout, I like badges and race medals. So
shiny objects.
Shiny objects. Who doesn't like shiny objects? So we keep doing it. So yeah, I completely get it. But I absolutely love how you have shared with us your story and journey, right? And again, you gave us some really good stuff. Like for any small business owner, and anybody who's watching either now or later, it is making time for yourself, because that's huge. Like if you're burnt out, then what's the point, right?
Right.
But then also too, making sure that you're investing in yourself in terms of education. And somewhere in there, we really talked about like why your business exists. You know, money is great, but that can't be the reason why it's existing, right?
Right.
People don't buy into it because of the money. It's something about you as a brand that people are attaching to, either your story or your brand's core values. And they're like, I believe in what she's doing, so I'm going to support her. Something like that has to be in that story.
Sure. Absolutely. Yep. Otherwise, people aren't going to be attracted to you, right? Or they're not going to want to know about you, right?
No,
yeah.
Not at all. So, Lynn, thank you so much. I don't know. I had plans to come to New York. It was, well, I think it was in February. But things, you know, with COVID, because we are in a pandemic still, things are always changing. But the next time we are in town, I got to get out to the island. I need to go on the ferry. I will tell you that my entire time has always been, in terms of living, has always been in Manhattan, right? So we were in Chelsea, we were in the Village, we were in Wash Heights. I would get off the island every now and then, but, you know, most of my time was spent either there or in Brooklyn, sometimes Queens. But we didn't get out to Staten Island very often, right?
Nobody does.
You know.
Listen, I never got off to Staten Island either. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn. And the only reason I discovered Staten Island was I had a friend move out here 30 years ago. And my son was young back then. He was in the first grade. And when I came out here, I was like, oh, this is nice out here. So it was a great place to raise my kid. But he's long gone, and I'm still here. So, and actually, this November makes it 30 years that I'm on Staten Island. So, right now, I moved out to Staten Island when I was 29. I'm out here now 29 years. This November, I think I have to say I'm a Staten Islander, but I can't relinquish I'm born and raised in Brooklyn.
You're born and raised in Brooklyn.
That's in my DNA, and I don't know why anybody wants to go to Queens. It's Brooklyn.
We're not going to start any wars here. We don't want to kick any dust up and get things going right. We don't want to do that. But yeah.
Don't even get me started on the Bronx.
Oh, but yeah, we'll definitely have to have another chat about that. But next time I'm in the city, we will definitely get on the ferry. We're gonna come down there, spend a little time together, and then you know, we'll make this an in real life relationship, as they say.
Definitely, you know it. I'm not going to let you come to New York, and then I'm not going to see you. So I will come and see you.
No, not at all. So thank you so much for giving me this time. I so appreciate it.
Thank you.
And for all those who joined us, thank you as well. We always like to have that, and we'll see what the future holds, and we'll be looking for more of your creations. So you want to share with us your Instagram page real quick?
It's just at Wired for Love Designs. At Wired for Love Designs on IG. That's where you find me. And I got a website, www.wiredforlovedesigns.com. And if you just click on our link in your post about our video, then people will find it. Yeah, sweet. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. You enjoy your day.
Thank you.
All right.
You too.
Talk to you.
Bye now.
Bye.